The kids are safe. The kids are being taken care of by, I'm sure, by Maleyha's native people.
An explosive development has shaken the Lilly and Jack Sullivan case. A man previously known as Derwood O'Grady now reveals himself as Darin Geddes from Trenton, Nova Scotia. And he has come forward on a Criming Shame with Sonny Austin and Dolly Vision with Jimmy Williams to declare he is 1,000% certain Jack and Lilly are alive and being cared for on a native reservation. Darrin, Maleyha's second cousin, whose son once worked with Daniel, ran an excavation business in the area for 30 years. His family connection was confirmed by Belynda Gray, the children's paternal grandmother, lending strong credibility to his stunning claims.
People out there, my name is Darin. My first name, my real name is Darin. My last name is Geddes, Geddes. I'm a Stellarton rat. I was born in Stellarton. I live in Trenton. I'm related to Paddy Allen and the people, my family in Toro. I know the Mackenzie boys, James, Alvin, Earl, Daniel's father. I haven't known Earl. I only spotted him once. I've seen him a few times, but I've known James and Alvin and the rest of them for years.
Darin says he spoke to someone with direct knowledge of the children's whereabouts, but will only name this source if his information is proven false. He's cross-checked this account with other witnesses, reinforcing his belief that it's 1,000% true. This bombshell tip has broken the case wide open, sparking renewed hope for the children's safety and prompting widespread attention.
Oh boy, and I can't say who they are, and I can't really say what they told me, but it's ironclad. It's 1,000% true, okay? I know exactly what happened to the kids. The kids are alive. The kids are probably not in Nova Scotia now, but the kids are safe. The kids are being taken care of by, I'm sure, by Maleyha's native people. My number one goal, if we could get those kids back alive, that would have been it. Knowing what I found out today through CPS and the information that I found out from this person, and believe me, it's ironclad. It's 1,000%. The kids are alive, and somebody has them that's taking care of them. Meadow is in custody of CPS, and they're going to decide where Meadow goes. Jack and Lilly, I'm telling you, they're alive, and I'm sure they're being protected by the native community, probably not the native community in Shubenacadie, and they may not even be in Canada. Now, that's what I know, and there's a big difference between what I know and what I think. So I just told you what I know. If I turn out to be wrong, the source that informed me this afternoon, then I'll fully expose it, because this source is very important, very in the know, very heavy, right in the middle of everything. And I almost said a he or she, and I'm not going to do that. They know everything that happened right from start to finish. I double-checked it with other people, other witnesses, other sources.
Darin also suggested Maleyha may be grappling with postpartum depression and sought to escape her difficult situation with Daniel, with assistance from a group of girls around her age.
Maleyha's a young girl. She's very mild-mannered, very impressionable, and she's had a rough go of it. Not so much with Daniel. Their relationship was a lot better than the relationship they had before. She had a really rough go of it. As far as I'm concerned, she had some damage, she had some PTSD, she had depression, and she probably had postpartum depression. I can't diagnose because I'm a man. But she definitely had some issues. She was a young girl in her situation, wanted out of there, that was looking at it like she just couldn't stand the situation anymore. She just wanted to change her life, okay? But yet she's very soft, very mild-mannered, not aggressive, no real power, no real ability to walk out of that totally herself, okay? And then she reached out to family with her complaints, and she had some friends around her that were her age that were semi-related. By semi-related, I mean to in my family and in her heritage, they had a couple different fathers, like stepfathers, and then the native thing came into it, stuff like that. So she had some girls, and they were all girls. I want you to think about a group of young girls trying to get their friend out of trouble. how stupid they can be, and the young boys can be just as stupid or worse. But I want you to think that Maleyha was scared, hellish scared, and maybe she had a right to be scared, but I think in a normal situation, if she would have been a normal person, I think she would have still been very, frightful a little bit, but she wouldn't be frightful to the point of panic and terror attacks, you know what I mean? So I think amongst her friends, some of them coordinated and took it upon themselves to help their friend, and they did it in a very stupid way. If they'd have talked to an old idiot like myself, we might have been able to give them a better way to do that, because what they feared we could have protected her from right off the bat would have been no problem to protect her what she was scared of. And I believe if she would have done it that way and she wanted to separate and walk out, she could have walked out with her kids. She could have walked out peacefully. We could have drove her and take her to, like some of my relatives have a good life, and we could have parked her in there, and some of us would have protected her and watched out for her, and her people would have protected her, helped her financially, would have helped her with the kids, and we could have brought her right along back into a life where she wouldn't have to be scared and she'd be protected.
The plot thickened when Maleyha reportedly fled with Meadow on Friday after learning Darrin was closing in. Meadow was then removed from her custody for violating a CPS order requiring her to stay with Meadow at her mother's home, Cindy Murray's residence. This breach has added another layer to this complex saga.
When she took off for the reservation from Cindy's place, that took it totally out of my hands as far as Meadow and her goes, because then that opened up the door for them to take Meadow, but it also opened up the door for the RCMP to use a lot of leverage on her.
Darrin confirms that he shared this critical information with the RCMP, but with Jack and Lilly still unaccounted for, he's frustrated by the authorities' response. He chose to go public to draw urgent attention to this potentially case-breaking lead, hoping to accelerate efforts to locate the children.
Now, I want the cops to move. Don't jerk around. These kids, these kids could be anywhere from a farmhouse outside of Tattamakush to Plattsburgh, New York. These kids could have gone through the big reserve in Ontario. I have a hard time saying it. The one that borders Canada and the United States. I say 99% the kids are with natives. And I want the cops to move your goddamn fat arses, you sons of bitch. Get on the goddamn move. It's been 7 weeks. You guys have the resources. If you gotta break the law, if you gotta pull some strings, whatever you gotta do, go find these goddamn kids. And I'm talking about the states too. You know, there's American cops in on this too. So come on, boys. Jesus Christ, if you can't find these kids, nobody can.
The province of Nova Scotia is offering a reward of up to $150,000 for information about the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan. If you have any information, call toll-free 1-888-710-9090. Subscribe and leave a comment to stay informed on this compelling unfolding story. I read every single one.